All in the news is has been about the possible overturning of Roe versus Wade with the Supreme Court of the United States. I think for that's a great thing. However, you have a lot of women who are saddened by this. Um, and if you're a believer, we believe in the sanctity of life. However, um, I just encourage you to give compassion and not just judgment for any woman who has had an abortion or any father, by that matter. Um, we preach about and talk about, being pro life. Well, life is not just, while they're in their mother, child's in their mother's womb when they're born. Life is all the way, you know, infancy, kids, secondary school, etc., all the way through the grave, through death. So when we talk about pro life, are you really pro life or are you pro birth? I mean, are you all about the kid until they're born and they get here, and then that's the end of your concern? I mean, are you one of those people who complain about social welfare programs, but you also in how people are spending money and abusing the system, but yet you're also preaching about don't kill the child. Well, where's that child gonna go? And you say adoption. Yes, we believe in adoption, but how many kids, especially children of color, are in foster care or bounce around the foster homes? And then there's a lot of abuse in those homes too. Let's just be real. So just have a little compassion on what drives a woman to commit abortion. I've had an abortion. God has rid me of that shame, but there's a lot of judgment on people who have had abortions. A lot of women have abortions not because something to do, because they're fearful. They're scared. Feel like they have no resources. They feel like they nowhere to go. They feel like their life is over. They feel like, how are they going to raise their child and give them everything they need? Not just emotionally, not just physically and financially, but emotionally and their time. I mean, yeah, there's something to say about financial responsibility, but a woman doesn't have a child by herself. It takes two people to create a child. It really takes more to raise it. It takes a whole village, a whole community. If a woman doesn't feel like they have that, then what are her options? Um, and a lot of times, women say they don't know about the options because they're scared. It's all about fear. And I love that, that Virginia had laws about, go to, they got struck down years ago, but, at least see that your child is a living, breathing thing. It's a living, breathing person, not a thing. It's not a clump of just a wad of tissue. There's um, neurons and nerves and senses and everything while the child's in the womb. But these places are called clinics. They don't tell you all that. They let you know that, oh, it's just a blob. It's not real. It's not a person. It's just a it. So, but I digress. But the thing is, you know, it's about women don't want to be fearful. They're afraid. So I think sometimes people, especially people who have not gone through those experiences, don't know anybody. They just think about the judgment part. They think about, oh, all about the child. I mean, it is about child, but it's also about the mother too. There's a lot of emotional things that go on with your abortion. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of grief. I mean, I was carrying grief around for 20 years, didn't even know it. It was grief, because in your mind you're thinking, oh, I killed my baby. I don't have a right to grieve, but you still grieve. You're still a mother, even though you didn't give birth to that child. You still, had a connection. You still felt the person growing inside you. That still happened, and it's still emotional. But the world looks at you and the church looks at you like you're sin. Well, those who have not cast your first stone. Seriously. So I just want to just give that perspective that everybody who has abortion, it's a sin. It's a sin to lay down and have premarital sex. It's a sin to lie about, cover it up. But it's also, to me, a sin to judge people because we're not God. You can't judge them. You should be helping them. Help them find another way. Help them when that child gets here. Help them take care of the child. I'm not saying take on the responsibility, but have you done anything for a child lately that's not yours? That's not your friend? That's not your family? Not even your church family? What about someone in the neighborhood? What about a stranger? I mean, yeah, you go through safety things and all that, but what have you done for a child? Again, if you're pro-life, not just pro-birth, what are you doing for children? I mean, I give a challenge to you. You know, ask God to show you, or you can help a child, at least do something for a child once per week, or maybe supporting that family, that single mother, who just does, trying to go to school or just trying to live. And we all know things are high, expensive, and cost of living, and childcare is freaking crazy. So, what if, think about not just the low income mothers, but what about the mothers who just above the poverty line? You gotta be making a whole lot of nothing, but if you make a little bit over that money, you don't qualify for any assistance. So it's all on you. Um, so just think about that. Just don't be just judgmental on people who who have abortions. I mean, show some compassion, because they may find themselves in a situation they weren't expecting. They may find themselves in a situation where they just have no idea. You know, a lot of people are hurting. It's COVID. They may have lost their job. They're just scared to go back to work. They might be scared to take a freaking vaccine. That we don't know what's going to happen to that person, how it affects your body in 5 years. So it's a lot of uncertainty. So just have compassion on people. Again, my challenge, back to the challenge is, ask God to show you what you can do for somebody this week, every week, that may help a child. Either help a child or her family, to support them. It could be money, but it could be something you need to do, like babysit one day, or take the child go play with the child. If you have that they trust you, and give that camaraderie. Just sometimes mom just might need a mental break, or the dad, maybe a single father is in the situation. So just show compassion towards the mothers and fathers, even those who may have actually had abortion. Show compassion. It's not just judgment. Again, are you pro-life or just pro-birth? Think on that